Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, those of you on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm T. Clay, even Tyrone Clay 213 on TikTok. And we thank God for you, and also we thank God for our new subscribers, our new followers, and we just give God the glory for you. Yes, you have not done this in vain. And we absolutely know that you will gain something out of the different things that you can find, even from the book of Revelation, even up to now to the book of Enoch, and which are contained in the archives. And you feel free. If you just want to go step by step, feel free. To study. I give you a commentary, but the fact is that you are giving that commentary just to motivate your mind to think. That's all. I'm saying what I think it is, but you are the final judge in your own life. And we thank God for you, and you. Now, we're coming from the book of Enoch, chapter 73, but first, let us pray. Oh, mighty Sanini Nanini. Oh, just like the old song goes, I want to be at the meeting around the throne. Yes, after the separation of the right and the wrong. I want to be at the meeting around the throne. In other words, I want to be one of the ones you didn't tell to go get away from me. I don't know you're not. Yes, even Sanini Nainini has given that judgment even unto Masindisi. He is the judge, yes, but yet everything will be given back even to the Father of Spirits, even Sanini Nainini. And we thank you for all the things that you've done. We give you the glory and the praise for all your mercies and your blessings, for your provisions. We thank you for subduing our enemies and all these things that you've done. We give you the glory and the praise for just allowing us even to know your name, to be free from all the bondages that surrounds us in this world and that cause many to err and many led astray because of by what they see and what sounds right. Yes. And we thank you that you are causing us to wake up. Those of the indigenous Niji of the Americas, and also those of the indigenous in the continent of Africa and all over Europe and Asia and all these other places that are waking up to know who they really are. Not all of us are who we think we are, but you are waking up the ones that you know that belong to you. Glory to your name, and we thank you. Yes, we give God the glory and the praise, and we thank God for you, and even the stranger. Those of you, regardless of what color you are in skin or hue or whatever you want to call it, you're invited. You invited to that marriage of the Most High, even Sanini Nainini and his people. Yes, you're invited. Because even the stranger, one law to the Israelite and one law to the stranger. God hasn't forgot about you. You forget about yourself because of the spirits that are attached to you that draw you away. You may not understand this, but as you think about it, you say, why can't I get it right? I don't care who you are. You black, white, or whatever, Chinese, red skin, brown skin, whatever you want to call yourself. Still, there's a spirit. There's spirits that are assigned to draw you away. And even those same spirits draw the children, even of Sanini Nainini, away also, unless we wake up and become that which the Most High would have us, even in obeying his statutes, commandments, and doing his judgments. When I say judgment, what does judgment mean? If I judge you, I'm saying that you are this. Then if I judge you, there's a sentence. The biggest sentence that we see is to put you away from our company. The biggest judgment that we see, if we had our own land, was to do whatever, no matter how grotesque it seems, that the Sanini Nainini even prescribes. You call it sadistic, but even though you call it sadistic, even your Christ that you say is the Christ, isn't he sadistic in that he tell you to drink of his blood? And that he tells you that if you eat of his body, he's taking you into an area that even his Sanini Nainini, he didn't even tell Abram to do these things. Abram was tested to see how much did he love mother, brother, sister, father, even his own son, more than Sanini Nanini. But no, he didn't. He would sacrifice him too because he knew that voice was from the Most High. But he said, hold it, now that I know you love me and you'll do whatever I tell you to do, even if it means your own life. And this is what the Sanini Nanini requires of you, even of the children of the Bantu. Yes. One more thing. I'm going to stress this even more. This earth was one earth. The lands were one land. You put that back in the back of me into one piece. It was one land. Before the land split, you will read, before the earth was divided. Some say, oh, that was me, that was the people. That wasn't no people. That was God separating the whole earth in the time of Peleg. That's where you got all these divisions behind me. Now, if that's so, there were people. And if the first men's were of looking like that of Negroid, or a brown, dark brown skin, or even black, even to albino, wasn't some caught on some of these lands at the divide? Common sense, yes. So how did the indigenous Niji get to South America, North America, Canada, and all the other places that you may have found him? Wasn't it by the land of the Great Divide? Come on here, use your common sense. It doesn't take all these papyrus. Egypt is going to lie. Egypt was a liar from his inception, even to the point that he take demons and make them gods. This is where you get all your gods of Egypt, with devils. They fooled and they get into dreams in the minds of men. Yes, they knew the ways of God. They knew how to do different things and stir things up. Even Enoch tells us this, even before the flood. Egypt wasn't even thought of then. But then God says with Moses, for this reason have I raised you up. Now, let's get into this here. I said what I said. And my name is T. Clay. Shout out to Shalakimi. Yes. And verse 1. And the leaders of the heads of thousands who are placed over the whole creation, over all the stars, have also to do with the 4 intercalary days, being inseparable from their office according to the reckoning of the year. All right. And these render service on 4 days, which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. And the owing to them men go wrong therein. For those luminaries truly render service on the royal stations, one in the first portal, one in the third portal, portal of heaven, and one in the fourth portal, and one in the sixth portal. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. These stations are days, 364 days. This is what's happening. Now he says there's 5. There's 5 that needs to be reckoned with. For the signs and the times and the years and the days, the angel Uriel showed to me, whom the Father of glory, even Tata Nzambi, has set before all the luminaries. He's talking about sun, moon, and stars of heaven and in the world, that they should rule on the face of the heaven and be seen on the earth, and be leaders for the day and the night, the sun, moon, and stars, and all the ministering creatures which make their revolution in all the chariots of the heavens. In the earth, he's saying some of these are alive. You say you see UFOs. Yes, they are unidentified. Who are you? This is God's earth. That's God's space. That's Sanini Nanini's space. Who are you? You want to shoot them down? You want to get where they are? Die. Now, come on here. Let's get a good thing here. Now, you let it be and just enjoy the show. Enjoy the show of the Most High, even Sanini Nanini. You can go with your Egyptology and all this other garbage, that rubbish, as some of you say, that they display and they put these demons and these devils have put in the minds of men. Yes, they have accounts for them and books for them, but that doesn't mean that it's true. We have social media, and many things say on social media. Don't mean that everything in social media is true. But we know things by its doing. They only wrote on what they had available to write. That was stone, parchment, paper, all kind of stuff. But whatever they wrote, they did for their reason. And we find out a lot of their reasons was devils. Now, in all the chariots of heaven, 7, in like manner 12 doors, Uriel showed me open in the circumference of the sun's chariot in the heaven, through which the rays of the sun break forth. Now, he did the best that he could describe this. He used chariots by means by which the sun travels. In verse 8, and from them is warmth diffused over the earth. Now, look what he's saying. He said, in them is warmth diffused over the earth. Right. So what's that? The sun rays, the diffusion, how you feel the heat and the cold and the mild warmth, the wind that's blowing. It's all because of the sun. They all work in cohesion. And the wind. They are open at their appointed season. Now, and for the winds and the spirit of the dew, when they are open, standing open in the heavens at the ends. As for the 12 portals in the heaven, at the ends of the earth, out which go forth the sun, moon, and stars, and all the works of heaven, and in the east and in the west. And there are many windows open to the left and right of them. And one of the windows at its appointed season produces warmth, corresponding as these do to those doors from which the stars come forth according as he commanded them. Yes, God he command these things. If you're lost in the desert or in the woods, God can command a star to move out of his orbit and show you the way. He can command a luminous entity to come down and just show you. Follow it. Yes, this is our God. He can do this, even Sanini Nanini. And wherein they corresponding to their number. And I saw chariots in heaven running in the world above, and those portals in which revolve the stars and that never set. The stars never set. The stars are all the way over there. And one day, they never go up, they never go down. They're there, but they're covered by the sun. This is true. And one is larger than all the rest, and it is that makes its course through the entire world. By this we navigate. See, some use it for evil, but God meant it for good. Come on here. We're going to stop right there. See, God has made things for you. He's made things for the service of man. Are not the stars and the moon for the service of men? Even the sun. The moon nurtures at night. The moon nurtures. It gives even the eyesight of the animals. It gives them a certain sight. They can't see in total darkness. There got to be some light that they might go after their prey and be fed. Even those that are nocturnal, even eating vegetations at night. Yes, the Most High have given these things, even Sanini Nanini. He have given all these things to us for our service, and the animals also. Everything works to its, we are cohesive together. We all work for a certain purpose. But man, he have walked out of the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We have walked away from the things that God told us to do. The things even from the beginning of mankind, even with Abel, that's to worship the Most High, even as the angels do. Yet we do have certain things we do in the earth that sustains us, like tilling the garden. You notice the garden, it feeds us, it warms us. It does all things for us, even in cohesion with the moon and the stars, but yet we pollute it and we try to singularize and mass produce it, and one man producing everything that everybody must bow down to him to get what they naturally need. Water polluted and then turned around and sold to you in bottles that they have purified, even the same ones that have polluted it. Oh, we have a great price to pay. A great price to pay. Yes. And then those who will go around and they take the energy from a boiler, they call it a nuclear reactor. It's nothing but a boiler. All it does is just heats up water. And what happens to that water? That water begins to boil. And then it runs a turbine. And then the turbine turns. And then with that turbine turning, it generates electricity. Ah, my. Away we have to go. But anyway, regardless, God had made all these things just for you. The angels even look upon you in awe. They look at you and they say, man don't know how good he has it. He doesn't know the majesty that is for him in the future. Though because of our sin, we are not even worthy to eat of that tree of life that even Enoch saw, that we've read back in previous chapters. We have not saw these things. We have about a few chapters, 20-something chapters to go. Yes, but through all this, we must understand that most of the Old Testament and New are based on this, the book of Enoch. You have read and you've seen a lot of things that I've read now. You go back into those things. We've read those things throughout Moses, and the book of Enoch contains those things. How many times God is going to have to tell mankind that you're walking out of your order? You're walking out of your order. It's not the fact of meeting each day in church. It's not the fact of meeting each day in your mosque. But it's the fact of walking every day in praise and adoration of the Most High, even Sanini Nanini Tata and Zambi, even to your Buddhist temples and all these things that you have idolatrously adopted in your cultures. He called unto you, but yet you would turn to a Isis and change that glory of the incorruptible God to that like unto incorruptible beasts and four-footed creeping things and things in your dreams which these demons bring, and you make books and all these things like the Egyptians did and take those things and lie that have been filtered down from the Nile and come to them information they shared. And then some of you think you're so, why is Egypt dead now? Why is it even the habitation of those who are not even original Egypt? You have walked the wrong way. You have walked out of your order. Why is Israel, even the Bantu, dead, bones dried up? You've also followed after this Egypt. Every time you run to Egypt, you run to Egypt, you run to Egypt. Yes, Egypt was your inception. It was the place where you were incarcerated to the point where you would love to praise and worship your God, but you decided that you wanted what the other nations have. Even a man and devils to rule your days and nights. And therefore you got it to your own nightmare. And with that, I'm going to say, may you find God and find peace.